Wow, look at everyone here. Hey, Alexa, what's going on today?
Hello. Welcome to AWS Summit Singapore. Please help me welcome to the stage Elsie Tan, Country Manager of Public Sector Singapore, Amazon Web Services.
Thank you, Alexa. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AWS Summit Singapore. We wish all our customers here today a very warm welcome, and I know some of you have traveled here from countries across ASEAN, and we also have many people joining us on our live stream. To all of you, a very warm welcome to sunny Singapore. Now, it's been 3 years since the last AWS Public Sector Summit in 2019. And look how things have changed. We are so excited to have you here today, and we have a meaningful agenda for all of you. As you can see, we have so many exciting tracks lined up for you. You can choose from over 30 lecture-style sessions, 8 workshops covering a range of innovative use cases from government, healthcare, and education, and hear from more than 24 of our sponsors and partners. We make sure to build an agenda that works for you using the AWS Events mobile app. Join us at our Chalk Talks, which are going to be very interesting interactive group sessions where our experts are going to walk you through problems and solutions with a digital whiteboard. And don't forget Deep Racer. Join us then, have fun getting hands-on with machine learning. Above all, whether you're new to AWS or you have multiple workloads running on the cloud already, come join us, learn, and be curious. There's something for everyone at this summit. Learn and be curious, and participate at your own pace. I also want to thank all the sponsors of the AWS Summit Singapore, especially our platinum sponsor, Accenture. Alongside all these companies, we are so privileged to be working with them, and together, we will help you reach your goals. You can find our partners over at the Expo and explore how they can help you accelerate your cloud journey. But don't rush off there just yet. Over the next hour here, we will be sharing more about our continued commitment to drive investment and innovation in ASEAN and Singapore. You will hear stories of innovation which we hope will inspire you and spark new ideas. Now let's start with Singapore. I am pleased to share today that since the AWS Asia Pacific Singapore region was launched in 2010, AWS has invested more than $6.5 billion in local infrastructure. In 2022 alone, Amazon and AWS will collectively create 1,000 jobs in Singapore. And in terms of skilling, we have trained more than 200,000 people with cloud skills since 2017. And we will continue to invest in resources to help customers like yourselves unlock the potential of the cloud. In fact, last year, we launched the Cloud Innovation Center in Singapore, or the CIC, as it is known. The CIC works with nonprofits, educational institutions, and government agencies to explore potential social challenges, test new ideas, and develop solutions for potential commercial adoption that have positive social impact. Earlier this year, we worked with the Experimental Tech Division of GovTech Singapore, called the Open Government Products, in a month-long hack for public good. An exciting prototype that came out from that event is Cloud City. Cloud City is an enhanced cloud sandbox that improves security, transparency, and governance without limiting engineering freedom. At AWS, we firmly believe that machine learning will be the most transformative technology of our generation. By putting machine learning in the hands of developers, we are committed to enabling our customers to improve lives and protect our planet. And Deep Racer is a way to make these complex concepts easy to understand, easy to apply, and most of all, really fun. This year, we hosted some of our customers and worked with them on Deep Racer events, like the Institute of Technical Education, the Central Provident Fund Board, and the Infocom Media Development Authority, to help them demystify some of these technical concepts. Recently, HTX, or the Home Team Science and Technology Agency, collaborated with AWS on the HTX AWS Deep Racer Challenge 2022. As a very forward-looking organization, more than 300 officers from technical and non-technical roles across the organization worked across self-learning workshops and immersion sessions to build their own machine learning models and race their cars. HTX shared that it was an exciting and fun way to learn about machine learning, cloud, and AI. But most of all, they realized what wonderful benefits cloud could bring into their day jobs, regardless of what role they played. So we look forward to working with our customers on your own Deep Racer event. We are also supporting Singapore's focus on space as an exciting nascent industry of economic growth in line with Singapore's focus on innovation. As part of our commitment to driving space innovation, we are excited to be powering the Office of Space, Technology and Industry under a statement of strategic intent and cooperation. AWS will be providing credits to businesses, training, talent in the space industry, and enable the development of solutions that will address the challenges in the space sector. We will then be able to translate those to real-world challenges like disaster response or providing accurate weather forecasts. In line with that, we recently expanded the AWS ground station to the Asia-Pacific Singapore region. This increases opportunities for satellite operators to connect with their satellites and process their workload seamlessly in the cloud. Governments, businesses, and universities will be able to benefit from timely access to satellite data, which will help them make precise, data-driven decisions. Now, these highlights from Singapore are just the tip of the iceberg. We continue to support our customers in the region, in ASEAN, and in Singapore to accelerate innovation. Alexa, please invite our next speaker up on stage to tell us more.
Please welcome to the stage Eric Conrad, Regional Managing Director, Public Sector ASEAN, Amazon Web Services.
Good morning. Wow, this is really amazing. I mean, seriously. I am delighted to see so many of our customers, partners, startups, press, and others here and online to share this experience with us. During this session, we're going to be able to talk about a lot of the case studies and compelling stories that Elsie pointed to earlier on. These impactful stories become the basis of the discussion. For those of you who have come, you're going to be able to learn from these real-world use cases how cloud is fundamentally supporting the missions of companies and organizations around here. You'll also be able to find out about some of the amazing AWS initiatives that we are rolling out in this region. But perhaps most importantly, you'll be able to spend time and connect with partners, with AWS representatives, with startups that can help you in your transformation journey. Across ASEAN, we're seeing public sector organizations innovate and deliver new and differentiated services to their citizens and customers. AWS Cloud is accelerating the progress through three key capabilities. One, AWS Cloud gives you agility so that you can have the flexibility and speed to respond to the emerging challenges you face. Two, AWS Cloud helps you unlock innovation so that you can continuously reinvent for your citizens. And three, AWS Cloud helps you sustain operational excellence so that you can provide efficient, resilient, secure, and high-quality citizen services. Recent research commissioned by AWS Cloud Economics shows that our customers across ASEAN, both commercial and public sector, who have migrated to AWS are seeing an acceleration in innovation, including 29% reduction in time to market on new features and applications, around a 24% reduction in IT costs compared to on-premise solutions, an increase of 41% productivity of their employees, and a 37% improvement in operational resilience. AWS is fully committed to empowering public sector organizations like yourselves right across the region to innovate and lead in an increasingly digital ASEAN. This is why we are continuously and constantly working to bring you the speed, agility, and reliability to build innovative solutions. AWS currently has 87 availability zones around within 27 geographic regions globally. We've also announced plans for 21 more availability zones in 7 regions in Australia, Canada, India, Israel, New Zealand, Spain, and Switzerland. Here in ASEAN, we currently have 2 active AWS regions, one here in Singapore, and one in Indonesia. And we've recently announced 3 new local zones, one in the Philippines, one in Thailand, and one in Vietnam. Now, these local zones are important because they provide low latency access for organizations who are growing in the use of cloud in metropolitan areas. They allow our customers to effectively do more in faster response times with applications, take on bigger transfers of data faster and more efficiently. This drives productivity, this drives economic growth, this drives benefit for all. You, our ASEAN customers, are our driving force, and we look forward to continuing this journey of collaboration further. Across ASEAN, we see governments taking bold steps to accelerate and simplify the process for public sector agencies to adopt cloud and leverage its benefits. In Malaysia, we signed the Cloud Framework Agreement with the Malaysia Administrative Modernization and Management Planning Unit, or MAMPU, that provides help to the government and helps them accelerate cloud adoption and drive innovation in the public sector. In Thailand, with the Ministry of Digital Economy and Society, we signed a Memorandum of Understanding which allows Thai government agencies to use AWS cloud services, helping them to reduce costs and innovate securely. And in Indonesia, we've been working with the Government Procurement Policy Agent, LKPP, to provide ministries and agencies access to AWS cloud services through the National e-Catalog. We continue to work closely with every government around the region to support innovation by streamlining how public sector agencies can procure and access cloud services. To support our customers' drive to digital modernization, we're deeply invested in working with our local partners and startups. We do this to drive innovation and economic growth. In September of this year, we announced the Smart City Competency and Partner Launch Program. The objective of this competency is to curate and develop a community of advanced and rising AWS partners with scalable smart city offerings on AWS. This will allow you to easily find best-in-class partner recommendations to build and deploy innovative smart city solutions. These solutions improve quality of life for our citizens and allow us to optimize city reforms. In Indonesia, one of our launch partners, Elitri, is already working with the government of West Java to provide citizens with real-time communication to enhance safety on busy roads. We are also deeply committed to supporting the startup community to innovate and experiment on the cloud. In September of last year, we launched the AWS Startup Ramp to help early-stage startups build solutions in health, digital government, smart cities, agriculture, and space technology. We help these startups launch, grow, and become successful. NewSpace, a Singapore space startup with a mission to provide Internet of Things, or IoT, connectivity to remote parts of the world with either limited or non-existent communication infrastructure, is a participant in the AWS Startup Ramp program. NewSpace is currently working on launching its Stories for Space. Now, this is an initiative in collaboration with the Science Center of Singapore that gives Singapore residents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to engrave their personal story on a satellite in space. Now, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. To support the wave of innovation across ASEAN, a digitally trained workforce will be key to unlocking the economic potential of the region, and AWS is committed to helping ASEAN countries address the digital and cloud skill shortage through digital education, training, and support. Earlier, Elsie mentioned that we have already trained 200,000 individuals in Singapore. Well, I'm proud to tell you that across ASEAN, that number is 700,000 people since 2017. And that's amazing. AWS is continuing this by helping, for example, the Indonesian government to increase its national digital capability by training senior government leaders in cloud knowledge. Forming a core part of the Indonesia Digital Leaders Academy under the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, through AWS Institute, we partnered with the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy to select and train 151 senior leaders from 132 national, provincial, and local entities to be participants in this program. The participants learn how to start digital transformation programs through a mix of panel-led discussions with experts and peers and a practical hands-on assignment that they continue to work on today with support of AWS. We're looking at continuing this program annually and expanding it throughout ASEAN. We work every day with governments and public sector bodies in each and every country we operate in to help build cloud capabilities and digital skills. In Thailand, we've rolled out the AWS Training and Certification Program to the Thai government. For this, Thai government employees, have the opportunity to train over 1,200 employees with cloud skills. This collaboration will enable Thai government agencies to leverage the breadth and depth of AWS cloud services to drive innovation and cost savings while delivering advanced citizen services. We're excited to be working with you on your digital journey as cloud technology continues to grow. Last year, AWS announced over 3,000 new meaningful services and features, and we anticipate many more being announced at our upcoming global conference, reInvent, in November. These continued advancements will help you make innovation more accessible and secure. A massive opportunity awaits you in the cloud, and we are here to empower every one of you to lead in a digital ASEAN. To dive a bit deeper into some of these transformation stories, I'm going to ask Alexa, please welcome the next speaker on stage.
Please welcome to the stage Peter Moore, Regional Managing Director, Public Sector, Asia Pacific, and Japan, Amazon Web Services.
We practiced so many times fist pump or handshaking and we still got it wrong. I'm sure that you're all getting used to it as well as we come out of the difficult time that we've had. But thank you, Eric and Elsie, and hello, everyone. Salamat pagi, mabuhay, sawadee krap, Xin I'm honoured to lead AWS Public Sector. across Asia Pacific and Japan, where we help our customers across government, education, research, healthcare, and space and non-profits to innovate, to deliver for their missions. It's great to be here with you and see you all face to face, finally. We're so grateful that some of you are also joining us virtually. Today I'm thrilled to share how we are empowering customers across ASEAN to break barriers and drive change. Over the next 50 minutes, 2 customers will come on stage to join me. They'll be telling us much more about their innovations in the cloud and how they've achieved agility, scalability, resilience, and security needed to keep pushing the boundaries. We hope their experiences will spark new ideas, inspire innovation, and help you reimagine what is possible. Before I begin, I'd like to say a big thank you to our customers and our partners that are joining us here today. Specifically, I'd like to give my appreciation to those in the public sector. The service and dedication you have for your communities, constituents, and end customers is really an inspiration to all of us. We look forward to working with you to further improve citizen services and drive economic recovery across ASEAN. As some of you may know, AWS was formed in 2006. In 2010, we established our public sector business and a focus on driving transformative innovation, supporting our customers to make the world a better and safer place. In 2010, we launched our first region in ASEAN and Asia Pacific right here in Singapore. And in 2021, we launched a second region in ASEAN in Jakarta. As Eric mentioned earlier, we're going to keep innovating and inventing to meet local customers' needs. However, this runs both ways. As much as we are helping our customers achieve their goals, you drive our innovation on a daily basis as well. Customer-centric innovation has been a leading principle for us right from the start. 90% of AWS services come directly from customer feedback. The other 10% is things that aren't directly articulated by customers, but we read between the lines and we invent on your behalf. Millions of customers around the world trust AWS every day to improve their security posture, become more agile and more resilient, and lower costs. Enterprises, small businesses and startups across every imaginable business are using AWS. In the public sector alone, tens of thousands of customers, ranging from national governments to universities, major healthcare providers, all count on AWS to support their mission-critical systems. One of the many reasons is because our customers are delighted to find that AWS offers over 200 services. These range from infrastructure technologies like compute, storage, database, to emerging technologies such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, data lakes, analytics, and Internet of Things. We also have the AWS Marketplace, which is a curated digital catalogue with more than 12,000 products over 65 categories. This makes it easy to find, test, buy, and deploy these third-party software that you want with the simplified procurement and cost controls that you need. And we're not slowing down because we listen to our customers and we continue to innovate based on what you need. To further support your needs, we have our global AWS partner network with over 100,000 partners from 150 countries. They provide knowledge, expertise, and the ability to really help you with your digital transformation. Many small businesses across the APN AWS Partner Network work really closely with public sector customers and help them solve some of the biggest community challenges and improve the delivery of citizen services. Today, please be sure to visit the partner booths that you would have seen just outside as you came in. Make sure that you go to the partner theatre session in the expo hall to learn more about how our partners can help you to build solutions that achieve your mission. So, looking ahead, as we move into the next normal, it will be critical for organisations to continue to adapt to meet the needs of students, citizens, patients, and end customers. COVID accelerated a digital transformation across institutions by 3 to 5 years. The ways in which we now work, learn, and interact with our communities has changed, and with that, so has expectations. So let's begin with digital citizen services. Public sector organisations across ASEAN are really seizing the opportunity to drive digital transformation and deliver faster, more modernised citizen services. West Java, which is the most populous province in Indonesia, has a large digital divide between the urban and rural areas. Many people live in small towns and have limited channels of engagement with their provincial government. To improve communication, Java Digital Service rolled out an app called Sapa Wajah. It's built on AWS. The app has a proposals feature which allows citizens to directly submit suggestions and ideas and even their aspirations to the provincial government directly instead of having to go through their community leaders. In Singapore, statutory board GovTech is constantly innovating to bring greater convenience to Singaporeans as part of its Smart Nation goals. Alexa, can you please help me welcome our first guest speaker to the stage to tell us more about GovTech's recent endeavours?
Please welcome to the stage Cheow Ho, Government Chief Digital Technology Officer of Government Technology Agency of Singapore.
Thanks, Peter, and whoa, what a crowd. Thanks for having me here, and it's great to see so many people for the first time in a long, long time. Today, I'm just going to cover a couple of interesting lessons that we have learned over the years. I call it Tales of a Cloud Explorer because, you know, as a government, we have been exploring the cloud for probably the last 8 to 9 years, and we have reached a certain level of maturity, which I think the lessons we have learned could be quite useful. So, what is going to cloud like? You know, as far as I'm concerned, going to the cloud is almost like a very young person leaving home for the first time, like going to university or going abroad, right? It's fun, it's full of excitement, freedom, and everything. But at the same time, it's also full of risks, fears, unknown, uncertainties. And this is really exactly what we went through over the past probably 4 to 5 years. But I'm glad to announce that at this point in time, we have already migrated close to 60% of our workloads in the government to the commercial cloud. And our target of 70% will probably be achieved by the third quarter of next year. So we have done quite a fair bit. But through this whole 4 years or so, we have learned a lot of stuff. And I think one of the things I'm going to start talking about is, first one, lesson 1. One of the most difficult things we started with was, how do you explain to your bosses, for us, including the Prime Minister, what are the risks involved in the cloud? Now, most people think that the cloud is riskier than on-prem. That's a myth. It's not true. The risks are just different. I think the risks that you face on the on-prem network, what you call infrastructure, versus the cloud infrastructure is just very, very different. The more you understand the risks, the better it is. And what do I mean by that? I think the ability to quantify the risks and spin a narrative around it for your bosses so that they will feel safe that you actually know what you're doing is 90% of the journey. If you can't do that, chances are that nobody's going to trust you. And if no one's going to trust you, chances that you will not be able to move to the cloud. So the first thing we talk about is you need to know the risk, know it well, and more importantly, explicitly deal with the risk and accept it if you have to. The more you're able to do it, the chances of you being successful is going to be much greater. So that's really something we learned very early in the stage of the game. Lesson 2. Cloud allows you to abstract significantly. And the more you abstract, actually, people think that, oh yeah, I abstract everything, I don't need a lot of knowledge because AWS will take care of it. Now, that is the furthest thing from the truth. The more you abstract, the more capability you need to understand the entire stack. And I've got a good friend who is now in AWS, Gregor, who used to say this, right, that failure does not respect abstraction. And what does it mean? It means that if your system fails, you can't blame anybody. You got to figure out what's wrong. And you can't just go to AWS and tell them, sorry, my system's not working, do something for me. The more you're able to pinpoint the problem, chances that you'll be able to recover it much faster. So you need a bunch of people to be able to understand the abstraction and build around it. And that's the reason why, from day one, we built a very strong cloud engineering team within GovTech, really to help us do all these things. And this also relates to the first lesson. The more you have the capability, the more you're able to understand the risk and the chance of failure, and you're able to manage it better. So that's really lesson number 2. The third lesson is, I call it go native. Why go native? The instincts of most government is that the moment you go into the cloud, what do? You want to build something on top of it. You want to build all kinds of controls on the jump hosts, your own kind of particular kind of controls that you want to put on top of it. But that's a very dangerous thing because building is easy, maintaining it is so much more difficult. Why is it difficult? Because the cloud is moving. It's moving at a breakneck pace. And when you build something and you're not able to keep up, in fact, you're opening up bigger risks as you go forward. So the first advice is that if you can use cloud native tools, go there. Don't build yourself. But that also kind of like creates another set of problems. The more native you become onto the cloud, the less portable you're going to be, which means that trying to move out of one particular provider to the next is going to be very difficult. Now, don't believe people will tell you, oh, I containerize it, life is good, I can just shift the container to another cloud provider. It doesn't work, it will break. Why does it break? Because ultimately, you're using a lot of services native to a particular cloud provider. So the balancing act is actually very difficult. How much native do I go? And how much do I not use the services so that I kind of like maintain a certain level of portability in that process? Now, those decisions are not science, it's more art, and the more experience you have, the more capability you have as an organization, chances are that you'll make a better decision. So that's very important. The next lesson is something which is, I find it very hard to explain because not all clouds are made the same. So you hear in the industry today, people talking about multiple cloud, multi-cloud, sovereign cloud, hybrid cloud. All those concepts are complex, for lack of a better word, because there's a big difference, for example, between multiple cloud and multi-cloud. Using multiple cloud is easy. Like in the government, we use multiple providers. Agencies can choose which provider they want to go to. That's fine. But the moment you mention the word multi-cloud, I think the concept is quite different. Especially when people tell you that, oh, you can manage multiple clouds with single control plane, you can build resiliency across multiple cloud providers. Those things are half-truth as far as I'm concerned, because to make that happen, it's really not easy. And if you get hoodwinked into believing those marketing spiels are real, chances are that you end up with a Frankenstein that's almost difficult to maintain. So multiple cloud, multi-cloud are two different things. Be clear about that. The next concept is even scarier, the concept of sovereign cloud. Now, in the definition of sovereign cloud, it goes from one spectrum to the other, right? And at the extreme end, people talk about sovereign cloud as disconnected from the internet, in a disconnected mode, has data diodes to prevent exfiltration of data. Now, as you paint the picture further and further to the right, you end up with a cloud that represents the on-prem network. Now, when that happens, what happens? Your cloud kind of disappears. Because at the end of the day, cloud technology needs to respect the law of physics. When you shut everything off, you lose the ecosystem straight away. And I think that's one of the things that we got to be very clear about. Then the next set of arguments will come, but if you shut everything off, can't I move the ecosystem into my private cloud or sovereign cloud? And the answer is, well, unless you're a very rich country that can spend $10 billion a year, you can't. Because it's hard to move the ecosystem that's big enough to a smaller scale installation like a sovereign or private cloud. So like in GovTech, we chose not to move that direction. We wanted to explore many of the new technologies that allows us to, in some ways, achieve the level of security without necessarily moving to a sovereign cloud structure with severe locks-in and severe kind of, and lose the ecosystem as we move towards that. So, but there's hope, right? And this comes from a conversation I had with my cousin who's a doctor. His view is that every 5 years that you live, you probably live longer because the cure for cancer will be found, cure for diabetes will be found, and chances you live longer. Same for the cloud. Every few years, the number of services that's launched by AWS, for example, is tremendous. And most of the problems we are dealing with today, probably we can solve it going forward. So I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic that it will happen. So many of these challenges we have about confidentiality and sovereignty, etc., many of the new technologies of Nitro, etc., private landing zones, outposts, will be able to help us solve these things going forward. So with that, maybe let me finish my final slide. It's an advertisement here. There's also a similar conference like that organized by GovTech next month in November. And one of our keynotes is actually Anthony LeCoury. Anthony, as known by many AWS people, is Mr. Nitro because he's the guy who actually, in a sense, invented Nitro, Outposts, and many of the new technologies of a confidential cloud or private landing zone. So Anthony will be here because I promised Anthony I'll buy him chili crab because he likes chili crab. And he'll be here as one of the keynotes. So scan the QR code, sign up, and hopefully we'll see you there with a whole bunch of other great speakers. So with that, thank you very much, and let me bring on Peter.
So I'm back. Thanks for staying. I'd like to talk about Singapore Changi Airport Group. They're using Diva Digital Factory to help travellers comply with changing travel regulations, making them feel safer during travels. Having previously built a serverless development environment on AWS, Changi Airport Group was able to quickly develop a safe travel app that gives people access to the information they need as a checklist when they're coming to Singapore, understanding the latest entry requirements, which are changing all the time. Bali in Indonesia is transforming from a popular tourist destination to a smart island. And that is going to use AWS services. One of the many initiatives that they're using in the cloud includes revamping their queuing system at local hospitals and public health centres to shorten the waiting time. Bali's also strengthening its tourism routes. Diskominfos Bali has developed an app called Love Bali. on AWS, which helps tourists discover the many different tourist activities that are available in the island. At AWS, we're committed to helping cities across ASEAN to enable more resilient, livable and sustainable smart cities. Next, I'd like to touch on the work we've been doing in research. The Urban Analytics Lab at the National University of Singapore spearheads research in geospatial data and 3D city modelling. It provides scientists and architects, urban planners and real estate developers with data insights. And these insights inform decisions about projects ranging from farming projects ranging from energy modelling to farming. With AWS at the foundation of most of its investigative work today, its researchers can develop more in-depth analysis at unprecedented scale and apply its work to almost any geographic location. In Malaysia, AWS is helping Cancer Research Malaysia scale the process of breast expanding its cancer research by as much as 3 years. It can now process up to 10 times more patient data, allowing it to analyse hundreds of patients at a single time. Speaking of healthcare, research isn't the only way the cloud can help patients. AWS is improving patient outcomes by increasing efficiencies, enhancing the clinician experience, and providing the insights and tools that are needed, all in a secure environment that fully protects patient data privacy. In the Philippines, the Chinese General Hospital consolidated all of its various operational systems onto the AWS cloud, and that improved employee productivity by more than 60%. More importantly, it reduced patient discharge time from hours previously to just minutes now. The cloud's also helping non-profit organisations to improve productivity and operations, so they can dedicate time to helping those that are in need. Singapore's National Volunteer and Philanthropy Centre, or NVPC, uses the cloud to ensure that donors can make financial contributions to the needy anytime and anywhere. Its donation platform, giving.sg, saw a record of 20.4 million Singapore dollars being donated during the pandemic. AWS helped them to scale up to manage that surge in traffic. Then in Indonesia, the ASEAN Foundation has migrated its SAP Enterprise Resource Planning system to the AWS cloud. This has allowed it to support the remote approval of budgets and spends, generate reports faster, and improve transparency. Now the organisation can dedicate more resources towards its work in promoting ASEAN and developing the potential of ASEAN cities. Next, the pandemic introduced new ways of teaching and learning that are here to stay. It's amazing to see how our customers are enriching the education experience to meet the demands of the modern student to drive better learning outcomes. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Sukhothai Thammasrit Open University in Thailand has gone all in on AWS to drive learning worldwide and support the university's vision of becoming a digital university. By moving to the cloud, the university was able to support 100% online learning and e-examinations during the pandemic. Through harnessing the power of data and leveraging AWS's global infrastructure, the university is able to achieve low latency and scalability to offer online services for its 200,000 learners over 2 years across 64 countries globally. Earlier, Eric mentioned the work in Malaysia that AWS is powering government in cloud adoption. And I'm excited to announce that we're working with the Department of Polytech and Community College which is a department within the Malaysia's Ministry of Higher Education. DPCCE worked with AWS to migrate their learning management system, or LMS, to the cloud, and has since achieved the scale and to reach over 150,000 active users with access to its curriculum, e-content and digital learning. DPCCE is also working with AWS to expand their Moodle-based LMS to 105 community colleges, in addition to the 36 polytechs that are already using the LMS. Furthermore, they're leveraging our AI and machine learning services to build an intelligent behavioural profiling and results prediction solution. And this will help them to detect detect challenges in students' learning process for easy early intervention and further enhance the learning experience. Data is growing faster than ever, with millions of connected devices and petabytes of data collected every day. Next, let's hear from our second guest speaker on how ST Engineering is leveraging AWS to modernise their data strategy for use cases like mobility and healthcare and public security all over the world and in Singapore. Alexa, would you please welcome the next speaker on stage?
Please welcome to the stage Rajagopal, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Mission Software and Services, ST Engineering.
Firstly, thank you, Alexa and Peter, for a wonderful introduction. I'm Rajagopal from ST Engineering, and a great morning to such a wonderful crowd. ST Engineering is honored to be part of today's AWS Summit Singapore, and we also value the relationship that we have with AWS, both as a partner and a customer. So today I thought I'll bring you through a time machine, one that transports us to the future, and then back to the past, and then eventually coming back to reality. So let me begin. Space shuttles are fundamentally the most advanced automation and transportation vehicles. However, do you know that the space shuttle rocket boosters are limited to a width of 4 feet 8.5 inches? And this is because of the railroads that ship these space shuttle rocket boosters through a transportation train. And these railways were actually built by English expatriates from UK that promised the width of the rail that was then in UK. And these rails in UK were actually promised on the tram wagons that used to travel on these roads. And these tram wagons were based on the ruts along the old distance roads, and these ruts were created by the wheel sets of Roman Empire war chariots. So what defined the Roman Empire war chariots was the of 2 horses. So fundamentally, what we are seeing is that arguably the most advanced transportation mode of a space shuttle and its width was determined 2,000 years ago by the width of 2 horses. Right? So historical events linger and create unintended effects on the evolution of technology. And how do the dots connect together? Digital transformation is not about technology. Otherwise, we will be limited to the width of the 2 horses. Digital transformation is about transforming and enhancing a stakeholder's experience using a combination of technology, people, and processes. Now, let me move on to the future, where we will talk about the future of mobility. Trains and taxis actually transport people daily from work and to work. Pedestrians are hustling and bustling around the cities, mobility is the bloodline of our cities. So how would we see the future of mobility? Connected vehicles will become potent information platforms, enabling drivers and passengers with a new world of experience enabled by artificial intelligence. We are going to see autonomous vehicles providing mobility as a service, drones in the air, unmanned surface vehicles in the sea. Core to this is the cloud technology that is going to pull data from sensors, reacting with the processed data in real time in order to be achieved this new future of ours. Let me now move on to the future of healthcare. We are seeing a big change and a rapid change in healthcare, and the shift is towards a patient-centric healthcare system. Again, for this to happen, cloud technology is core, in which you will see healthcare service providers and patients connected together, using intelligence to be able to analyze the patient's needs, and fundamentally being able to prescribe the best care for the patients. We will see robotics and digital technologies to be used to automate and manage the mental and the physical tasks of doctors and nurses. Future hospitals are going to have intelligence operation centers integrating systems and services to enable their operations, and primarily to give patients an amazing experience. Telemedicine and remote healthcare is going to reduce the patient's visits to hospitals, and wearable sensors are going to enable near real-time monitoring of the patient's health. So in other words, we are actually going to see a shift of healthcare from hospitals to homes, enabling empowerment of their health to the patients themselves. So I spoke about the future of mobility and the future of healthcare, and there's more. You're going to see the future of public security, you're going to see the future of war fighting. So by 2025, we are going to see 70 battalion, I'm so sorry, I came from the military, so the battalion just comes out, okay. But otherwise, it's 70 billion of connected devices generating 460 exabytes of data daily. And so the future works hand in glove with AWS Cloud. AWS Cloud offers a range of digital technologies that enables customers to innovate faster and to be able to achieve anything that was envisaged. The AWS artificial intelligence and machine learning platforms will allow customers to generate new insights to transform their organizations. So what is key? Moving to the cloud is inevitable, and the potential in the cloud is unlimited. However, when you actually talk to our customers, protecting the secured data is of a great concern. So most customers have adopted to a hybrid cloud strategy, utilizing the capabilities in a public cloud as well as the security in a private cloud. So in ST Engineering, we actually have a cloud management platform that enables our customers to be able to manage this range of workloads that are going to be housed in both the public and private clouds. Now let me move on to share our experiences as an AWS customer in our cloud journey. In ST Engineering, we have offices in more than 20 countries and 40 cities. So in our cloud journey, we adopted a similar hybrid cloud strategy, and AWS provides the public cloud solutions to us. I must say, the journey has been amazing. We migrated 1,000 workloads seamlessly across to the cloud. In addition to that, we have been able to securely communicate data and information to our offices worldwide. So as a result, we have achieved a 20% cost savings. In addition to that, AWS offers a CI/CD DevSecOps pipeline that allows us to build cloud microservices for our customers, and sometimes even allows us to migrate these to an AWS outpost where required. So on this stage, I would like to share our appreciation to AWS Cloud for enabling ST Engineering's cloud journey. So I spoke about digital transformation and technologies, but however, people form the cornerstone of all of these efforts. In ST Engineering, we are committed to investing into our people development. So we set up a ST Digital Academy, over and above training of our 7,000 digital workforce. We actually recruit and train 150 graduates from universities, polytechnics, ITEs, and mid-careeries to enable them to become cloud and software specialists, data engineers, data architects. So fundamentally, beyond these technologies and digital transformation, having a highly skilled workforce is key for the success of the future. Now, in conclusion, firstly, I just want to reiterate the point. Digital transformation is not about technology. It's about enhancing the customer's experience. Second one, ST Engineering is thankful and appreciative of AWS effort in helping us migrate to the cloud. Thirdly, we want to continue to partner AWS in helping our customers transform their visions to realities. Next, I'd like to thank AWS for allowing us to share this stage. And before I leave, I'd like to leave a quote of Adam. Cloud has become not just another tech revolution, but an enabler of a fundamental shift in the way that businesses actually function. Signing off from ST Engineering. Have a great day. Thank you.
So thank you, Raja. Those are very exciting initiatives indeed. It's amazing to me to have customers like this come up on stage and really help to tell our story. I hope you really appreciated those words from Raja and from Cheow earlier. In today's digital ASEAN, ensuring the highest levels of security has become even more critical to keep systems up and running and to keep data protected. It's vital that we strengthen resilience and maintain continuity so that students can learn, so that citizens can access key government services, and so that employees can work remotely and individuals can receive healthcare when they need it. That's why we design secure technology to help mitigate incidents and guard against security risks. Customers choosing AWS get more than 230 security, compliance, and governance services, and features that are in addition to what AWS offers through programs and certifications, advice, and resources that will help you achieve new levels of security, even for your most sensitive workloads. You always retain ownership and control of your data, including where it's stored, how it's stored, and who can access it. You can also choose to have cloud infrastructure and services where you need them the most. Hybrid cloud with AWS gives organizations and institutions the opportunity to bring cloud services closer to where they're needed. This can be on-premise with AWS Outpost, in large metro areas with AWS Local Zones, at the edge of 5G networks with AWS Wavelength, or even at the remote edge with the Snow family. As we dive deeper into what technology can do, let's not forget the most important element: people. Increasing cloud talent is critical for ongoing innovation. Insights from Alpha Beta's Building Skills for a Changing Workforce in APJ 2022 report reveal that even workers in non-tech roles stand to benefit. 88% of those that were surveyed said that they gained greater efficiency. 76% found it increased their chances in getting a job. And 62% saw improved promotion of opportunities. The research further found that training shortfalls in the public sector in APJ. In the next year alone, 14% of the total workforce across the entire region will need to undertake digital skills. In Singapore, that's 650,000 employees need more training. Here at AWS, we believe that this challenge can only be addressed by democratising cloud knowledge, ensuring that everybody has the opportunity to build digital skills. That's why in 2020, we committed to providing 29 million people across the world with access to free cloud computing skills training by 2025. We're investing hundreds of millions of dollars to scale our programs to increase the reach and impact globally. Our AWS training offerings are robust and include courses delivered in different formats. AWS Skills Builder has over 500 free courses covering different AWS solutions at various skills levels, and we recently launched a subscription plan that provides access to unique learning experiences to advance your professional goals. So be sure to stop by our training and certification kiosk later today for more information. AWS Restart is a global program that takes a local approach to driving impact and is focused on helping people from diverse populations prepare for careers in the cloud. It connects more than 90% of graduates with job interview opportunities and has more than tripled the number of cities where it's available. Now in more than 100 cities across 40 countries, and 5 of those cities are here in ASEAN. On top of that, we support a variety of local programs to cultivate an interest in technology with students. These will help us with a variety of career paths. In Indonesia, we're collaborating with the Social Economic Accelerator Lab to accelerate digitisation and launch the Indonesiaku Awesome, a 5-month program that provides students with comprehensive education on advanced cloud technologies. Another area we're looking to support through innovation is sustainability. In 2019, Amazon co-founded the Climate Pledge, which is a commitment to be carbon neutral across all of our businesses by 2040, which is 10 years ahead of the Paris Agreement. There's more than 300 businesses across 51 industries and 29 countries that have signed up for this Climate Pledge to date. We're proud to help our customers achieve their sustainability goals. A recent study by international analyst firm 451 Research found that hyperscale cloud infrastructure is 5 times more energy efficient than the average enterprise data center. In Singapore, enterprises and public sector organisations moving to the cloud see an average workload energy reduction of up to 76%. To make it easier for our customers to calculate their company's carbon emissions and take action to reduce the footprint in the cloud, we launched the AWS Customer Carbon Footprint Tool earlier this year. This dashboard provides estimates of the carbon emissions our customers have avoided by using AWS instead of an on-premises data center. And it even forecasts how these numbers will change over time based on your current usage. Our efforts have already borne fruit in ASEAN. AWS is actively supporting Singapore's net zero carbon goals with its plans to achieve by 2020. For example, Singapore's East Coast Town Council is piloting sustainability solutions powered by AWS to help residents and businesses lower their carbon footprints. And water is a precious resource, and AWS is committed to having a positive presence in the communities where we operate around the world. In Indonesia, over 35,000 people living in Java have benefited from our collaboration with water.org through greater financing, expanded infrastructure, and improved access to water services. Additionally, with our support, water.org is helping district and city-level urban water utilities to increase services by providing capacity building and technical assistance training. At Amazon, we're looking to power our operations with 100% renewable by 2025, 5 years ahead of our original target. I'm pleased to share that Amazon's second renewable energy project in Singapore is a 17.6 megawatt solar farm with an integrated rainwater harvesting system developed by Sembcorp Solar Singapore. In addition to the generation of solar energy, this solar project also collects and treats up to 170,000 cubic metres of rainwater annually, which is the equivalent to the amount required to fill 68 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Alongside the 62 megawatt project announced in 2021, our renewable energy projects in Singapore will generate enough combined energy to power 20,000 Singaporean homes every year. These renewable energy projects are part of our wider strategy to create a sustainable data centre pathway for the industry across ASEAN. In closing, it's truly inspiring how AWS customers are finding new and better ways to deliver on their mission. It's clear there's no slowing down, and I look forward to what we will accomplish as we continue to pave new ways, to new paths, and reimagine whatever is possible together. It's been great to share with you these exciting advancements and to hear from our customers who are using AWS to break boundaries. Looking ahead, our goal is to continually empower you to lead and serve in an increasingly digital ASEAN. If you find today's content valuable, we have even more in store for you at reInvent 2022, our largest and most comprehensive annual conference held in November. Register to attend either in person in Las Vegas or virtually, and talk to your AWS account representative for additional details. As for today's event, please be sure to attend the breakout sessions and take advantage of the interactive workshops and other hands-on learning opportunities. No matter what part of the journey you're on with your company, your organisation, we have content and experiences that we hope will inspire you today. Before you go, we'd really appreciate it if you could give us feedback so that we know how to continue to improve these events. So please fill out your survey for this keynote and all the sessions that you attend so we can continue to make sure that we're getting you the right resources and the information that you need. Thank you and enjoy a great day.